And good morning, everyone. So my name is Luca. I'm in charge of product marketing for what we call here in Jabra EMEA South region. And thanks to Westcon, today I have the great opportunity to introduce to a little bit more into our lineup in general. We will see mainly our Evolve lineup. We will see our Visio solution lineup, and we will have some interesting news and insights for you as well for what is about our first line workers lineup as well. So first of all, it's been now a few months. We introduced a totally new series of headphones, what we call our Evolve lineup, which is our lineup dedicated to task-based workers. And through these slides, we're going to see three main points about these new, recently launched products. First of all, we're going to see the why, because as I said, we were already on the market, we were already leader on the market, but we introduced something new, which is going to be on top of what we have already today as a premium lineup, and this is the positioning we want to work on with you. We're going to see to whom we want to address these new products, and of course, we're going to be a little bit more into details for what is about every single SKU that we've been launched. So first of all, as I said, the why. We already have quite a few products in our current Evolve lineup, which are still there, which are still responding very well to what is the demand at the moment on the market for a certain type of customer, for a certain type of companies. But I think what I'm telling it to you right now will make more sense when I show you the next slide. First of all, just before going there, we have to consider a lot of things that happened recently. Our view at Jabra about the current situation is just that what the pandemic brought to us is a huge acceleration of some tendencies that were already there, that were already present just before COVID-19 arrived. And when I'm talking about that, I'm referring, for example, to the noise at the office, which of course now becomes noise in every single place you work. Can be when you stay at home to work, when you go to the cafe to work, and again the noise at the office, because we all know we work more and more in these open spaces. Another thing that has been just accelerated by the current happenings is, of course, the need for collaboration. We used to spend less and less time to work individually, to work on our individual task, and we used already to be more and more collaborating with each other, whether it was physical collaboration or, and now of course this is a huge acceleration of this kind of tendency that it was brought in the last month. We're talking about virtual collaboration. Why is that? Simply because today's tasks are extremely complex. I can't work on them by my own. I really need to confront, I really need to discuss, I really need to share information with my colleagues, with my customers, with my vendors, with the factories. So I really need to be able to be involved in a collaboration way. And this is something that was already there, as I said, but is becoming more and more predominant nowadays. And of course, I'm not teaching you anything new at all when I'm saying that this COVID accelerated another important part, which is the physical location in which you're going to work for the next years. Before it was mainly at the office. Today it's maybe a mix of both. Nobody knows for sure what will happen tomorrow, whether we will spend more time at the office, more time at home. Possibly what we think at Jabra will be just a mix of the two. It will give us more flexibility, and that is really the word that is key to understand this new lineup we're launching. So I need to be able to work from anywhere. So work is not a place you go, it's something you do. And so again, flexibility is something that we've been thinking about a lot when we introduce these new models, of course. If we go a little bit next into the next topic, is of course about the who we want to address for this new lineup, which is going to be positioned as a premium lineup on top of what we have already. Just to make you understand a little bit into more details what we've been doing, let me go very briefly about a story of the history of the UC adoption. So let's say that it was more or less 2011, 2012. when there was this huge first wave of UC adoption. Basically, people started to abandon the classic physical phone on their desk to move and to evolve definitely into the usage of these UCR technologies. Then it was maybe more 2014, 2015, when this adoption accelerated enormously, and we be assisting to the let's say to the appearance on the market of a lot of different technologies and platforms that were really engineered for that purpose. Let's talk about Skype. Then it became Skype for Business. A lot of other competitors jumped in, and this really create what we call again the second wave, and that was when Jabra introduced the first Evolve lineup on the market. Now, it's very important to understand this part. There are still a lot of people out there and a lot of companies which are still into the second wave, or maybe some of them are even just entering now the second wave. So for those companies and for those people, we still think that our current Evolve lineup is still a very valid solution with top of the range technology, with top of the range features, which are still there and still can respond very well to the needs of these guys. At the same time, there are people that have been using these UC technologies, that have been using headphones, headsets to communicate and collaborate, maybe for the last 4, 5, even 6 years. So of course, these guys, these companies, they have developed a different need. They have developed a different exigence. That's to say, they are becoming more and more demanding in terms of what they want to do and what they want to have and achieve with their headsets. For those guys, or for these advanced, let's say, consumers, which know and which have been experiencing a lot what is about the headsets and the various platforms, the various software, the various hardware, we want to introduce a new lineup, something that is better responding to their high-level needs, and something that is better responding to their high-level, let's say, necessity in terms of collaboration and communication. And this is what we identify as the third wave. So they're definitely the most advanced people, the most advanced companies, or the most advanced simply division of certain companies, which are definitely demanding more in terms of collaboration, in terms of flexibility, but also, and very importantly, in terms of being able to isolate and to concentrate. So really in terms of concentration there. So that's the reason why we introduced an additional lineup on top of what we have today. So nothing is going to replace anything. But that's the reason why we want to split the demand into the market in 2 different waves, the second wave and the third wave, proposing the current Evolve lineup to the second wave, and then tackling the third wave of this demand with our premium lineup, which is actually, as we're going to see together now, Evolve 2. So, and here you are, we're talking about the products. From left to the right, we have the new Evolve 2 65 Bluetooth model. Then in the center, we have our hero model, Evolve 2 85. And then on the right, we have our Evolve 2 40. All these models, I repeat myself here, but it's very important to understand the concept in order to be able to understand why we did that and how we did that. That you see that on the bottom of the slide, you have 3 main pillars which are common to the development of each individual product you see there on the slide. So we want to bring the user the possibility to have a much better concentration, so the much better capacity to isolate. That means, of course, passive noise cancelling, but also active noise cancelling. We want to bring the user a much better collaboration. What is collaboration when we are a company commercializing and producing professional headsets? We're talking about the microphones, of course. We're talking about the quality of how my voice is heard at the other side of the line. So we will see together how we can bring a much better quality of voice, quality of sound with which devices, and which technology we use. And of course, again, we want to bring better flexibility. Now, flexibility is a huge concept here. It goes from design, it goes from comfort, it goes from possibility to have a very long battery when I'm using wireless solutions. So we will see how here as well, we've been developing and we've been working on a lot of additional and new technologies, which can really boost this part of the headset itself. So let's go a little bit more into the details of the three different models. So again, let me remind you the Evolve 285 is our hero model. And let's go a little bit more into the details of this model by still using the three pillars we saw before. So let's talk about concentration. I have to be able, as we said before, whether I'm working from home, I'm working from the office, I am on the go, I want to work from the cafe, I have to be able to isolate myself because there is noise around me. And to be able to do my job, to be able to do to complete my task, I need to be able really to concentrate. So we've been working a lot on this part, and that's why not only on the Evolve 285 we introduce a totally redesigned possibility to have a passive noise cancelling. Passive noise cancelling means I'm totally isolated from the environment around me just by putting the headphones on my head. But on top of that, we introduce a very high level active noise cancelling on this model as well. So of course, it's a noise cancelling which comes through the usage of algorithm and as to all of a series of different microphones, which really bring me better isolation and better concentration. And then again, I am one very good example of it. Some people like to concentrate and isolate just by listening to their favorite music or favorite relaxing sounds. And for this kind of product, we've been able to install very high level 40 millimeter speakers, which come also with dedicated ACC codecs to bring you a very high level of music quality. Again, we all know we're talking about the professional headsets, but these headsets is capable to bring you very high level of music quality, just like it was a pure music headset, let's say. And then again, let's talk about the Busy Light. We all know the Busy Light has been and still is a kind of signature from Jabra. So we wanted to keep on in this direction. But if you think about it, in our current Evolve lineup, there was a little bit of a tiny issue with the Busy Light. That's to say, the Busy Light was only visible if you were coming directly from my left or from my right. Well, we solved the problem with this headphone, and now we are able to have the Busy Light visible at 360 degrees. So it will be visible all over the place, and then no colleagues of yours, no family members of yours will have any more excuse to bother you while you are in a call, of course. And then again, let's pass now to collaboration. As I said before, collaboration is possibility to make my voice clear and loud on the other side of the line. How do I do that? Again, this model comes with the Microsoft OpenOffice certification, which, without going into too many details, is the highest classification, the highest certification that Microsoft is giving in terms of quality of voice for this device. And then, of course, is the microphone part. Again, on such a device, we've been able to install something like 10 different microphones. There are 2 microphones on the boom arm, one inside, one aside. And then we have something like 3 different microphones on each external ear cup and 1 microphone inside the ear cup. Now, without getting too complicated about that, what you have to understand here is that all these microphones, they are engineered and studied to work all together to optimize the usage, the simultaneous use altogether. And then some algorithm are there to pick the noise coming from the environment. Some other algorithms are there to pick the voice coming from yourself, of course. And then these algorithms are able to separate the two and to pass only your voice on the other side of the line. So very important that we are able now to have such a huge complex, let's say, architecture of microphone, which are supposed to work all together and are, of course, optimized by the new algorithm we've been able to implement into this product. And then let's go to the flexibility. As we said, flexibility is something that the modern way of working is really imposing us to have a look at. And we've been working a lot also on this part. Of course, we have something like 30 meters range, so using our dedicated dongle. So it's very important to be able to be flexible also compared to the distance I have to keep in mind from my PC. We had the possibility, of course, to have a double connectivity, the dual connectivity, sorry. So I need to be able to be always connected and to my portable phone and to my PC. And I can do it at the same time. Very important not to be able to miss any call, of course. And then we have something unique here, and I'm talking about 37 hours of battery. So it's a wireless solution, it's a Bluetooth solution with a dedicated dongle, which we recommend to use all the time. And then you can be sure that you have no trouble when you want to use this kind of device, because you always can be sure that there is enough battery to take you through the next meeting. Again, 37 hours of battery is something very unique, which is not really common at all on this kind of market. And on top of that, let's say cherry on the cake, you know that so far you can optimize and parameter all the settings of your headphone through our software, which was and it is still Java Direct. And now, as we talk about flexibility, as we talk about the fact that this headphone is something that you take also outside the office and you want to go, or you want to use on the go, you want to use when you commute, you want to use in your apartment, on the bus. Now we give you the possibility to parameter and customize all the settings of these headphones, also using your own phone, whether you use a Google phone or use Siri. So again, Sound Plus is the application to use for it, which is the application which comes from our consumer devices, and now you're able to do this through this application as well. Then let's go to Evolve 265. So still our Bluetooth solution. Still, we will see together how we've been able to work on a completely new engineering, let's say, concept about this headphone. And we will see, and we will go through together with you using the same approach than before. So in terms of concentration, again, very important that I'm able to isolate myself from all the noise around me. Let's say we have been working enormously on the passive noise cancellation of this device. Then again, we've been installing also on this device the 360 degrees busy light. And then again, we give you the possibility to work with this device using powerful music, being able to enjoy this powerful music thanks to the 40mm speakers. And then again, if you go to collaboration, even on this device, we've been able to install something like 3 different microphones, 2 in the boom arm and 1 in the right ear cup of the headphone. And the same than before, than the previous model. So there are some microphones which are dedicated to the picking of the noise, some other microphones which are dedicated to the picking of the voice, and then our new spatial algorithm are able to separate those two and to be able to pass only the voice to the other side of the line. So very important here again that we work a lot on the collaboration pillar, and we've been able to put on the market something that has really no comparison in terms of collaboration benchmark. So in terms of voice clarity, which is heard on the other side of the line. And then again, very important, even for this product, even for this price positioning, we are giving you the possibility to have something like 37 hours of battery. Something very unique again on the market, something nobody can do at the moment, and we are very proud of this in order to give you the flexibility you need when you use this product at the office, but also outside the office. And then again, all of a series of different technologies which are implemented also in this model, like the possibility to connect it at the same time to your PC and your mobile phone, the possibility to use also the application Sound Plus to parameter and then go through all the settings of your headphone, and so on. And also, very importantly, and I forgot to say it before, for the first time, we're also giving you the possibility to have this product not only in black or beige color, also with a USB-A or a USB-C dongle, which is something that we've been lacking a little bit. This one we need to admit, but now we are able to give you also this possibility, depending on whether you want to plug in this headphone using your USB-A or USB-C port. And then we go to the little brother of them all, I would say, which nonetheless, we will see it together, brings you enormously brings an enormous amount of technology, even in this form factor, even especially for this price position. So here we're talking about, of course, a corded solution available in USB-A or USB-C. But again, you can see at the slide, you can see how much technology we've been able to include anyhow, despite this price position. We have the huge engineering effort we put into the passive noise cancelling. So as long as I put these headphones on my ear, I'm completely isolated from the environment around me. The new 360 degrees busy light, or again, the possibility to have 3 different microphones, again, 2 in the boom arm and 1 in the right ear cup, to be able to be sure, let's say, to have a very clear voice on the other side of the line. And again, in terms of other technology which are still there, the personalization with Jabra Direct, still the very high quality level speakers if you want to listen to some good music. So this is, of course, again, the minor brother of them three, but I think it's a very, very valuable product if you consider the amount of technology we've been able to put in it, and of course, the price positioning compared to it. So, and then just to give you an idea, as I told you before, we've been introducing these models last April. And for your information, so far, we received a lot of very good reviews. You can go out there on the internet and have a look yourself. So we are really happy and very proud of what we've been doing. And we really want to collaborate with you more and more in order to be able to make people test this new product and really understand how much premium we went with this solution and how much this solution can really help and support those most advanced users to get better collaboration, better concentration, and again, better flexibility, of course. And this was my part about, of course, our Evolve. So I told you it's a premium lineup, which is just adding up to the current we have today. But now, as you know, now it's been something like 1 year and 2 months ago, Jabra also entered the market for video collaboration. We did it in a precise way. We did it in a very strategic way for what we think is a good way to do. And then what I would like to see with you today is to remind you the current product we have, to see a little bit more into details what this product can do, is unique features compared to competition, but also, of course, we cannot skip this part. We cannot pretend nothing is happening. How this product is really helping the user to face all the challenging that the pandemic has brought in the last few months. So, of course, I'm talking about the Jabra PanaCast. Just to resume to you, the Jabra PanaCast is this little device you see in the slide here, which has a list of very particular and characteristic features which are unique on the market, like the fact that it's using 3 different cameras which create no distortion and nonetheless are able to give you a 180 degrees field of view. The field of view, 180 degrees field of view, is of course bringing us a lot of unique advantages when we want to enter the market of halder room, when we want to enter the market of small room, of course. So it's very important, and we keep this into consideration for the next slide as well. And also there is some artificial intelligence which is embedded into the camera, which allow us to exploit another different series of technologies and features, which can bring, again, a much better way of video conferencing and productivity through this to the final user. I'm talking about the intelligent zoom, we will see it together. I'm talking about the vivid HDR characteristic that we can implement with the PanaCast as well. And again, this product is also feature-proof because of the AI, which is already embedded, because of the unique configuration of the lenses. We will be able to launch very soon some additional features so that we can be able that you buy this camera today and it's going to be a very valid product on the market for the few years to come as well. Let's go a little bit more into details about the unique 180 degrees field of view. Again, there is nobody on the market who can do that. We have a patent technology that allow us to have this feature and to position ourselves in this way on the market. And just to give you an idea, let's go together to see what's happening in this slide. First of all, on the left part, you see that we're using a product from competition, which is the Logitech Meetup. So you can see with this kind of cameras, which can reach at best 120 degrees field of view. First of all, you see in the image that the part on the extreme right and extreme left on the image, they are pretty much distorted. And also, you see that it looks like at least there are 3 people in this room. We will see later this is not true. And what's happening, you have it on the right part of the image. So first of all, you see that people are seated around this table, but you can see that, and I'm referring now to the pink space in the right image of the slide, we have what we call a wasted space, simply because due to the limitation of the technology of those cameras of the 120 degrees field of view maximum, still 120 degrees is a few very companies that can still do that. We are wasting a lot of space into the room. We are wasting a lot of square meters for which anyway you pay every month the renting for. So, and according to our calculation, this gives you a total loss of up to 40% of the meeting room you're paying the renting for. So we're talking about a huge waste here. And this is what's happening with every single other brands on the market out there. But if now we use the Panacast, if now we use the 180 degrees, what's happening? First of all, we now understand that in that very same room, there were 5 people and not 3. Can you imagine to have a meeting with someone on the other side of the line? You think there are 3 people. Actually, there are 5 people in the room, and maybe the people who are not visible, they are some important and some important stakeholders of yours, let's say. So very important that we can use every single square meters in the room. I would say every single square centimeter in the room, and we are able to see everybody in it, so that everybody is always in the field of view of the camera, and everybody is always visible to the other side of the line. So this is a unique feature of the Panacast, which is a little bit of the base, which will allow us to implement all of a series of other, let's say, feature in the future as well. On top of that, as we said, the Panacast has some artificial intelligence already embedded. And what this intelligence allows us to do is mainly the possibility to identify people in the room, to identify the face of the people in the room, which allow us to do a lot of different things. First, one, but just as an example, we are able to implement what we call our VV features. That's to say, it's a typical case when you have a meeting room, you have the guy like I'm here now, and let's imagine I have a huge window around behind me. The light coming from the window will put me in a kind of shade. So what you will see here actually would be the window and not my face. Well, the Panacast is able to identify my face, is able to underexpose the light coming from the window, is able to overexpose my face, so that my face, which is actually what counts when what is important, right? When you have a video conference, will be the one that you see and not the source of light. And this is actually what's happening here in the image as well. The other important part is the intelligent zoom. So I enter a room, there is only one person in the room. I'm not interested to see the whole room. I just want to see the person who is sitting there. So the Panacast will automatically identify that there is just one person in the room, and the Panacast will zoom directly on this person. If my colleague is entering the room 5 minutes later because he was in a hurry, because he was late or whatever, is going to sit next to me, the Panacast will notice someone else is in the room now. So it will just enlarge the field of view so that me and my colleague will be now visible in the field of view. And so on, if a third colleague is entering and sitting on my left, and so on. So it's the Panacast which automatically detects people in the room and is able to show them all at the same time, just like it will happen really if you were there yourself and you will see this image with your very own eyes by yourself. So you will see all of them looking at you in the room. So it brings a lot of naturality and brings a lot, of course, of as we say, seeing the whole picture, and allows you to have a more productive and a more high level meetings, of course. And then again, this not spending a lot of time here because it will demand a different, let's say, study, a different learning with you guys. I will be happy to do it in another time. But as I said, the fact that the Panacast is able to detect people, to identify faces in the room, allow us to do all of a different and additional series of things, which today never been possible. Again, I can count, for example, how many people are in the room so that I can know how much or how good or how bad all my meeting rooms are used or not used. I can start to automatize certain things, like if there is nobody in the room, I switch off the light. As far as somebody entered the room, I can switch on the light and the air conditioning. So all of these features are potentially possible as of today, because we share with everybody our SDK and our API, and people, actually, we have all of a series of customers already been working on it, implementing their own customized solution about it, are able to implement these new features, are able to implement this new way to improve further productivity, and to have the Panacast as something that is not only there as a video conference solution, but it can bring me the possibility to do something else, and again, to improve and to enhance my general experience with this technology. Now, just to resume, we have, of course, inclusive meetings. Everybody is always visible, even if they are sit very next to the wall. So because we can really utilize and optimize all the space in this very little room, in the huddle room, by using a 180 degrees, and have a very high level quality of the image thanks to panoramic 4K resolution. Of course, as we said, we have what I've been calling the intelligent video technology, which allow us to implement a lot of different features, like the intelligence room, like the vivid HDR, and a lot more to come in the future. Instant collaboration, very importantly, this camera is extremely easy to use and install. It's just a USB cable, you plug in into your PC, and then you're able to go. Also because, very important, this camera is compatible by far with the most part of application platforms outside there on the market for video conference, of course. And not only, but we are certified by Teams, we are certified by Zoom, we are certified to, Teams rooms, we are certifying Zoom rooms. So this is for people out there who know already a little bit about Jabra, really part of our idea, of our DNA. So we really want to bring and to keep an agnostic approach towards the industry and towards what is outside there. And this is something that is happening also for the Panacast, of course. So you can be sure that you just go there, you plug in the Panacast into your PC, and whatever your platform or video communication you're working, it will be fine for you. Then, having said that, it's very important, of course, that we don't forget, or at least we don't pretend not to know what happened in the last 5-6 months already now, actually. And what happened, as I said before, is that how we see things in Jabra is that the pandemic has just been accelerating certain tendencies that were already there. But what I'm going to do with you now is to explain you and try to make you understand how this solution we have now, the Jabra Panacast, is a very good companion, a very good possibility to face the challenges that this pandemic brought. So, of course, the need for collaboration exploded. I'm just mentioning here in this slide that the Teams reached something like 2.7 billion meeting minutes per day in March. The Zoom participants went up to 300 million. Then I know that Google Meet went up to 100 million. A lot of expansion and really an explosion of usage also from other categories and other platforms like Cisco WebEx and so on. So again, those tendencies were there, but they've been absolutely enormously accelerated by the pandemic. And now where we are, well, now this pandemic, as we are all living it during these very days, of course, increases even more the collaboration, but also all the challenges that the collaboration comes with. So what I need now is to be able to give user the possibility to have a very easy to use, as we said before, but also a very flexible solution, which they can use to really rediscover or redesign or re-engineer the spaces at their office. How we see things in Jabra is that, of course, there will be now this mixed, let's say, way to work. Some people, of course, they will keep on working from home, but some other people, maybe they will go to the office. But when they go to the office, of course, they want to collaborate, and they go there to meet, of course, colleagues, but also to gather with these colleagues and meet other people, meet customers, meet the factories, meet the vendors, and so on. So how can we, Jabra, with our Panacast, help all of this? Simply, as I said, working on the flexibility of this solution. So all those companies, they will have today to rethink again the space at the office to be able to give their employees a better way to collaborate, an easy way to collaborate, and a more intensive way to collaborate. So you see it in the image. Let's take this open sofa, which when it was thought, most probably, and I think we all agree here, it was not intended to be a video conference place. Today, just using something very easy like a Panacast, a tripod you see there in the image, and maybe why not our Jabra Speak solution, you can have a high level space for video conferencing almost anywhere in your company, in your office. Just by thanks to the flexibility, the ease of use, the compatibility, and the certification which all these products come with. And again, you can rethink, you can redesign the space in your office according to it. So again, another thing that we need to take into account, of course, today is the social distancing, which has to be respected, of course, at the office as well. So we talked about before the small rooms where there were 5 people before. Nobody can put again the same 5 people in the same room today because there are sanitary measures that have to be respected. But thanks to the Panacast, again, I can able to put a lot more people in the very same room and still respect those sanitary measures. How do I do that? Simply because the Panacast is able to, let's say, catch, to be able to visualize the entire space of the room thanks to the 180 degrees field of view. So then people can stay in the room at the proper distance, which is 1 to 2 meters, depending on the local regulations. And then again, I'm going to be able to optimize and to exploit at its best all the space available there. And then again, you can see this is something additionally coming thanks to the 180 degrees field of view, which with all, sorry, the flexibility, of course, that it is able to implement in your solution at work. This is just the same picture than before, but seeing from the top. So if before I was able to put just one person, I'm referring to the image on the left, in the room, because 2 people won't be visible using a different camera from the market, and because those 2 seats anyway have to be empty because of the sanitary measures. Now, using the Panacast, I can put something like 3 people in the same room, bringing up the next level again of collaboration, of team collaboration, and just using this very simple solution and just using this very small room as it was before. So again, 180 degrees can really help companies, can really help user today to work into this new era, into this new post-pandemic or still pandemic situation, just bringing additional solution which are respecting really the current local regulations. And then again, last but not least, as I said before, something changed, but something didn't. But among the things that changed, or at least accelerated, is the fact that a lot of industries, a lot of different companies that before were not necessarily too much confronted, too much into thinking about video conferencing to be able to go on with their activities. Today, those companies, they have no choice. They really have to rethink the way they work. They really have to rethink the way to use technology to be able to keep on providing their services. I'm talking about consulting, of course. I'm talking about government, the public administration, which has to go on to be able to bring the service they are meant for to the population. I'm talking about legal, for of course. I'm talking about health, so about hospitals, about clinics, about your own doctor, who has to be able to anyway visit patients, but also collaborate between them. I'm talking about education. This is very important and something that Jabra is working a lot on. We all know that anyway, education has to go on. And when I'm talking about education, I'm talking about primary, secondary, school, or university, but also why not professional education. Everybody of us, we have to continue to keep on having our Excel training, our English training, our Spanish training. And how can we do that? Well, those companies that before were not thinking necessarily about it, nowadays they will have to be able to reach the employees and the companies through video conferencing. So they will have to keep themselves with this kind of these new solutions. But of course, they may be sometimes scared about technology out there. They are not necessarily the right knowledge in order to keep themselves in that way. And again, I repeat myself here, but it's very important I do that. Thanks to the Jabra Panacast and all the Jabra solutions that are already there in the market, we are able to implement something flexible, something easy to use, something very compatible, and of course, something certified with the biggest actor out there, as I said before, like Zoom, like Teams and Zooms and so on. So again, we are really working towards being able to address all of a series of companies and industries that maybe we were not focusing too much on before, but now we understand they need support and they need to be able to keep on doing their work. And we think we have the very right solution for them. So as I said, just to give an example of a few platforms, you know them better than me, but we are all there. We're working with them on daily basis to be able to implement our products at their side, also to be able to implement day by day our software and firmware update into their solution so that we can guarantee and we can keep on guaranteeing our compatibility and certification with all of them. And that was so for the part about video conferencing and for the part about the Jabra Panacast. Nonetheless, very importantly, and this is a growing category worldwide, and that's why Jabra wants to put some additional focus in it as well, is that Jabra have some solution for what we call the first line worker or the blue collars. All those guys, all those kind of different, because it's very wide spectrum of different activities and jobs, right? But all those guys, all those different spectrum of activities, they have nowadays to face, of course, the improvement of technology and the new way of working at their side as well. And at Jabra, we have a lineup which is called Blue Parrot, which offer many different products which are really engineered and thought for this kind of usage. So, of course, noise cancelling is very important. Those headsets are really designed to enhance the productivity. Either they are mobile workers or frontline employees, but it's really something that is exploding at the moment. It's something that a trend on the market that is happening right now because those guys, anyway, they have to collaborate, they have to face technology, and we really have the importance here to give them the best solution to help them doing their job in the best way. So again, we're talking about the frontline workers. Of course, they are dry business results. So they are engaged, let's say, because they have to collaborate with their teams and their work groups, which was not necessarily true before because technology was not at that level before. They have to be able, for example, to deliver immediate customer patient care. They have to retrieve and collect critical information. And again, a lot of different tasks that in the past were not so up to that level of technology. Nowadays, they cannot pretend that they don't have to adapt to this level of technology. They really need to collaborate more and more in order to be able to keep on with their job. So we're talking about very different possibilities, different industries as well. I'm talking about the retail industry rather than we're talking about the warehouse, rather than the healthcare or very importantly, let's say, transportation and logistics. And we have solution for all of them. We have products and tools which are optimized for all of them. Very important as well, as I said before, Jabra wants to keep its signature agnostic approach. So we are working with all the main players of all these industries, which are offering their hardware solution, with which we're going to configure our headsets in order to bring and to guarantee the best compatibility. And we have some of the names there that are offering these PC solutions, but we're really working with them on daily basis in order to integrate at best our Blue Parrot products inside. And again, not only we work with them to be compatible, but we work them to the next level, I would say, in order to fully integrate our solution there. Being able to say that our buttons on our Bluetooth headsets Blue Parrot headsets are recognized by the software, by the platform, by the hardware that is we're collaborating with, so that we are able to bring on the market a totally integrated solution with what is happening at its best in this kind of industry. Just to give an example, we have a strong partnership with Zebra. Zebra, it's one of the main player out there for this kind of tools, which are definitely addressed to the frontline workers. And we have a lot of lineup now, which is dedicated and which is fully compatible and certified with these Zebra devices, and for which actually we even implemented some dedicated feature and dedicated functions that integrate completely into the device, like the push to talk, like the text messaging by voice command. Sorry. So that when you use those two devices together, it brings you a totally integrated solution, and it brings you a much better productivity, whatever your job is. Whatever your job is, in order for you to be able to really bring your task to the next level. And for that, now I'm going to share with you a brief video just to give you an idea of what we are talking about and what this kind of products can really bring in terms of technology, in terms of use case, and really in terms of additional help and support to all those kinds of workers which can really enjoy a much better way of working thanks to those. So that was the part about the Blue Parrot lineup. Again, our lineup dedicated to frontline workers, which today have to really put in front of different challenges compared to the past, and to which really we want to put some additional focus as Jabra. And then we're going to see together a little bit more about the resources that Jabra is able to bring you in order to work with you, with your customers, and to build up a more complete offer. Before going into some good news for you, I will want to touch this upon this resources part, just showing and sharing with you a video. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed this course, this journey into our different lineup. So we saw the Evolve 2, our new premium collaboration headset that we've been launching recently. We saw how the Jabra Panacast, which you know already, can bring additional productivity and additional support during this pandemic timing. And also I introduced you to the new Blue Parrot story, so how we can really support frontline workers with their new challenges. And now we have some good news for you, because actually we've been able to make you win a few products, a few awards. So going into details, you have them in the slides. So of course, for the first 20 new partners join the Jabra One Zone, which is about the video we saw before, they will be able to get an Elite 75T product, which is our consumer consumer earbuds headphones. And then again, for the first 5 confirmed opportunities, we will be able to give you the free demo kit in order to be able to demo, really to showcase our solution with your customer. And I remind you that the offer is valid until end of current year, and is valid for all the product, not only the product we saw today, but the whole Jabra lineup, which you know already. And then again, there will be not only the possibility to win this thanks to Jabra, but Westcon today is giving all of us the possibility also to have some additional surprises, some additional awards, just going through a quiz. So that was my part today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to meet all of you during our question and answer session, during which we'll be able, of course, to ask me all the things that were not clear enough to you today, or if you have an additional need for additional contents and additional, let's say, topics that we didn't have the time to see together today, I would be very happy to talk to you and to explain to you further. And
Perfect.
with that, I'm gone. Thank you.
Around end user events and integrated campaigns to generate demand. One key input, from Brendan and
Perfect. So,
also
Luca.
you
I think Tushar's on a call. I'm not sure if he's...
Yeah. He's multitasking.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Luca. It was
Thanks to
perfect.
you.
Perfect. I've kept the studio live for the time being, so if there's any things you guys want to redo or reshoot or anything like that, just let me know now. Otherwise, I can end the studio.
I mean, fine from my side. If you say from your side is fine as well, I'm
I
okay.
think it was fine.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There was only a few times that I saw the image, the video, and the slide was loading, but then it was just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, that tends to only happen within StreamYard. It's your connection just refreshing itself.
Okay, okay.
That should not go through to the live feed.
Okay.
Yeah, anyways, I think you'll be able to crop that, right, Alex? Like you'll cut that out.
Sorry, say again?
Would you be cutting that out? I mean, where instead of them waiting for it to load?
Yeah, no, like I said, it's only in StreamYard. It's for it's normally StreamYard just refreshing itself. It's your internet connectivity.
All right.
I have it sometimes happening as well, and nobody else has noticed it because it doesn't feed like that to the live stream. It's only on our side in StreamYard.
Okay. And Alex, I sent you a link to download Jabra One Zone video that I know that we can play.
Perfect.
On the chat, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And Schnabel, for the quiz, should I send you questions? I mean, how many questions do you need? Because I want to mix it with Evolve 2 Panacast and Blue Parrot question.
Yeah, Nagina, I think you can send me about 5 of them. That should be fine. 5 questions. Because we want to do lengthy, just a quick one, so it's a little interactive as well.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Good.
Okay.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks a lot, Luca.
Thanks a lot to you guys. Let me know if you need anything else. Otherwise, I'm very fine with it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Luca. Thanks, Nagina. Bye.
Thanks, bye.
Couple of meetings, like one of the meetings we have